Hi everyone. Today we're going to do a practice to help boost your immune system. We're going to do a little bit of work on compression at the area of the abdomen, which will help to get a nice fresh supply of blood into that area. We do this with twists and some forward bends, which really helps to boost the immune system. It helps to flood the body with your white blood cells. So it's a good time of year to do this, a really good time right now with everything, the crazy stuff that's going on, to help to de-stress your body. Okay, so we're going to begin here in Sukhasana, or just a comfortable cross-legged position. And this is Chrissy. Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
Who's gonna help me today. I really hurt my ankle a few days ago and it's still swollen, so she's kindly volunteered to give me a hand here. So I'm just gonna have her sit upright, nice and squarely on the sit bones, and a comfortable position for the hands. So if you feel comfortable with the palms on the thighs, if you want to turn the palms up, if you want to rest the hands in the lap, we want the elbows, the arm bones to relax, everything to relax, and we want to elongate the spine. So right from the base of the spine through the crown of the head, you feel that you're sitting in an upright position. Don't bring the chin up too much. Good, the back of the neck is nice and soft. Let your eyes close and we'll begin with just a little bit of focus on the breath, okay? So we want to take a nice deep breath in through the nostrils, a full breath out through the nostrils, and do this a couple of times. If you want to do a few breaths out through the nose, that does help with the relaxation response, so that's fine, you can do that too. And I'm just going to be quiet for a sec while we let Chrissy focus on the breath. As always, we want the whole of the rib cage to be moving here as we're focusing and concentrating on optimizing the amount of oxygen we bring into the body. So moving the side ribs to the sides, moving the back ribs back, the front ribs obviously expanding. And when we start with the breath awareness, then we draw enough oxygen into the body to then effectively use the energy for whatever task we have in hand. All right, so we're going to keep the breath, the breath moving nice and freely through the nostrils, and we'll start moving the body. So recross the legs, Chrissy, let the eyes open, change the cross of your legs, and we'll start with a nice Sukhasana twist. So usually we twist to the right side first, so take the left hand to the outside of the right leg. Left hand to the outside of the right, is that right? Yes, okay. And we're cupping the right hand behind the hips. Don't bring the head around too quick. Keep the chin in line with the center of the chest and focus on lengthening the spine. Elongate, and then begin to turn from the pit of the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. Head comes around last. We always swing the head around, I think, a little bit too quickly. Now the inhale here is going to help you to elongate the spine, and the exhale is going to help you turn a little bit more through the ribs, through the chest. Good. One more breath in, lengthen, and exhale, moving all the way back to the front. Beautiful. Now straight to the other side, so the right hand to the outside of the left thigh, left hand is going to cup on the floor behind you, chin in line with the center of the chest. Inhale, lengthen the spine. exhale, begin to turn. And see if you can really feel that turn working through the spine, from the base of the spine into the abdomen, through the ribs, into the chest. Really spread through the collarbones here and try to draw the arm bones back a little bit more. Beautiful. Nice deep breath in, full breath out. One more breath in. And as you exhale, turning back to front. All right. So these twists are really good at, like I said, bringing blood flow back into the body. And this compression at the abdominal area really helps with digestive health. Now we're going to come into child's pose. So bring your legs back behind you. And you can have your knees wide apart, together, a little bit apart, however feels most comfortable. And then just bring your chest down and relax your arms in front. So she makes this look very easy. The seat is right there on the heels. But if you have a problem with getting your seat back, then you just place something, a cushion, maybe a folded blanket, between the shins and the back of the thighs. And that way your leg bones, your leg muscles can relax. Now she's taking a deep breath in here, a full breath out. She hasn't forgotten about the breath. Breathing into these back ribs here, making them expand and allowing the whole of the body to begin to concentrate, to begin to relax, to begin to de-stress. The focus that we bring to our practice is key in allowing the body, the nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system to respond and calm ourselves. And that's really important for the health of your body. All right, so walk the hands back now. Chrissy, you're going to take one more twist. So swing around so you're facing the camera again. Extend the legs forwards. Pull your toes back towards you. And press down with your thigh bones and your knees, and just check your legs are nice and straight. So you want to look at your kneecaps and make sure the kneecaps are squarely in the center of the legs here, not turning out at all. As you pull back with your toes, extend forwards with your inner ankles. Beautiful. And the spine is nice and long. Awesome. Now relax a little bit as you bend your right knee. Bring it up, step it over. Good. Now the foot here wants to follow the line of the knee. So don't try to place it forwards, turn it out just a little bit. So the knee, shin bone, and foot are all facing the right direction. We're going to try to keep this extended left leg nice and firm. Don't let it flop in or out. And you're going to take your left arm up with a nice deep breath in, and then as you exhale, hook the upper arm on the outside of the thigh. Beautiful. And turn the chest. So another deep twisting action. Think about what you're doing here. Like you're wringing everything out around the spine. You're squeezing and allowing for that blood flow to reach into your body, those white cells to just go crazy and help deliver what they need to get rid of any dis-ease in your body. All right? And when you're ready with your next exhale, untwist. Extend that right leg for a moment. Reset, take a few breaths. Extending forwards with the inner ankles, pulling back with the toes. And this is going to help you feel your hamstrings. Beautiful, nice, long spine. Let's do the other side. Whenever you're ready, right arm comes up. Inhale, hook it on the outside of that thigh, and turn. Good. Try to keep those right toes pointing up, Chrissy. Awesome. Anchor your inner upper right knee down into the floor and just keep turning, keep turning. Head comes around last. Good. And one more inhale. And release. Exhale. Stretch that leg out. Give the legs a little wiggle. Feet a little wiggle. And then come back. Well, actually, we'll come to all fours. So cross your legs. Good. Knees up onto the outside edges of your feet. Okay? That doesn't matter if you don't do that. Sit cross-legged for a second. Bring your knees up. Raise your knees. Right, so you're now on the outside edges of your feet. Don't use your hands if you can. You want to use the muscles of your body to come forwards and onto all fours now. Awesome. And then swivel around so everybody can see you. Curl your toes under, hip distance apart. Sit back into your heels as far as you can. Extend your arms again. But keep the toes under. We're just taking a measure between the hands and the feet for downward facing dog. Good. And then bring your hips up. So now you're on all fours. And bring the knees up. Super. Drop the weight of your head. So we want to make sure in downward facing dog that we're really pressing down strongly through the knuckles of the fingers, especially through the index finger knuckles and the bases of the thumbs. Okay? We want this area of the back to be moving in, both sides of the waist to be really long, and the hips and the legs are pressing back, really extending down the backs of the legs. And if you're not as flexible as Chrissy, you may well need to bend your knees. So bend your knees for me, Chrissy. Give really generously, bend your knees generously. Good. And then the chest can move, and you can see that she's got this wonderful length in the spinal column here, which is what we're looking for. Okay, let's bring the knees down all the way to the mat. Just sit back on your heels and shake out your arms and your hands for a little bit. And then to target the hamstrings a little bit more, we're going to do the same pose, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, but with the feet together. Feet together, knees together. Spread those fingers really well. Good. And whenever you're ready, up you come. Good. So this whole area of the upper hips, outer hips, really pressing back, really finding that length through the side waist, through the spine. And do drop the weight of the head. You don't want any tension around the neck area here. Beautiful. And I'm sure she can feel her hamstrings a little bit more now, right, Chrissy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's step forwards. Let's walk the feet towards the hands. Just take your time, bend your knees as much as you need to. The feet can be together or hip distance apart, is really up to you. Drop your head. Now I know you can straighten your legs, so straighten them all the way out. Good. And keep the hips over the ankles. So she wants to move her hips just a little bit further forwards, but without gripping the toes. If you find you're gripping your toes, then you're going to want to bend your knees. Now the idea here, of course, you can feel the length, the engagement of your leg muscles. Knees are lifting up into the hips. Thigh muscles are drawing into the thigh bones. But you want to find that length in your spine. Now if you find that you're keeping your legs straight, can you round your back a little bit? Can you kind of get, yeah, and your back is rounding like this, you're losing this beautiful extension in the spine that you can get from this pose. So if you find your back is rounding, bend your knees. Bend your knees generously and find that length in your spine. Good. One more breath. Now I'm going to ask her to keep her knees bent. It's always a good idea when we're coming up to standing. Grab your waist, keep your spine long, and inhale. Up we come. Gorgeous. All right. Now we're going to do a forward bend with the legs nice and wide. So take your feet about 4.5 feet apart. And ideally you want your feet pointing straight ahead. When I do this pose, I like to point my toes in just a little bit, which is absolutely fine, but don't have the toes turning out. Now the knees are lifting, the leg muscles are engaged. Just pop your hands onto your hips here and lift out of your pelvis. Nice tall spine. Good. You don't want to collapse the feet here, so be careful that you're not popping your outer ankles out and the big toe is feeling a little bit light. Press through the big toe, lift through the arches of the feet, keep the legs really nice and firm. Okay, one inhale, reach through the crown of the head, and then folding forwards, take your hands to the floor. All the way down, fold. Good, and as you're doing this, good, hands down. Awesome, awesome, awesome. As you're doing this, try not to take the weight too far back into the heels. You want to keep your feet in Tadasana, so there's an even placement of weight at the front, at the back, at the sides of the feet here. Good. Walk your hands back just a little bit if you can. Good, and drop your head. Good. So we'll just stay here for a few breaths. Again, you'll see she's got a nice long spine. She's not rounding the back. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. If you can't reach the floor, have something to pop your hands on, or keep your hands on your legs. That's fine too. All right. Lift the chest. Look forwards, Chrissy. Good. Now place your right hand in the center of the mat there. Good. And then we're going to take the left arm out and up with a nice deep breath in. And we're going to take another twist here. So the ribs are twisting, the belly is twisting. You'll see she's dropping the hip a little bit. Well, hopefully you won't see because you're doing this, but this is fine because we're just trying to get as much twist into the body as possible. From the chest into the hands. Good, let's bring this up a little bit here. And then with an exhale, this hand's going to come down, left hand to the floor, center of the mat. And then the right arm out and up. Keep those legs firm. Your legs are working really hard here. We're turning from the base of the spine, through the belly, through the ribs, and really opening through the chest into the fingers. Good. And you'll see she's taking her gaze up to the thumb here. Again, you won't see, but if you can take your gaze up, if it bothers your neck at all, just keep your gaze down or slightly to the side. All right, let's do this a few times, Chrissy. Hand comes down, exhale. Inhale the left arm out and up. Really expand from the chest into the fingers. When you're ready, exhale, the hand comes down. Inhale, the other arm comes up. So I'm going to have her do this, or you do this a few more times. Work with the breath, synchronize the movements with the breath. Good. Good. And as you're moving, you might find you're opening to one side and your opposite hip is dropping a little bit. Let's see if we can keep those hips compact now and really get this twist into the torso. So the hips are staying a little bit more level as much as you can. Don't force it, never force it. Just work with what you can. Which one did we start with, Chris? We got one more side, yeah? Mm-hmm. All right, one more time. Even it out. So you've got left arm comes up last, and then we're back in the forward bend. Good. All right. Now try not to drop into the heels. Look forward, lengthen your spine. You're going to grab your waist. Can you keep the feet nice and even on the floor as you bring your hands to your waist? And then come on up. Inhaling. Good. And see if you can just step one foot to the other. Now this is difficult because you've been, oh, beautiful. You've been in the pose a long time, so if you need to kind of like wiggle your way in, that's fine too. All right, so we'll do Utkatasana now, and here we'll add a twist. It's often called awkward chair pose. It's actually mighty pose. It's a really strong pose, and I know Chrissy doesn't like this pose very much, but I am asking her to do it. Side on, please. So you can keep the feet together, slightly apart, hip distance apart, whatever feels comfortable for you. But when you bend the knees, you don't want the knees to track out to the sides. So you want to keep that weight nice and even on your feet. Good. So she's got a lovely Tadasana position here. The shoulders are rolling back. The chest is nice and open. And she has this little tone in the pit of her belly. Not much of a belly there, has she? But anyway, I'm going to have her bend the knees and touch the floor. Exhale. Touch the floor with the fingertips. Good. And then just pause here for a moment. Now you probably won't come down as low as she has done. If you can't touch the floor, that's fine. But I want you to feel here how the belly is hanging out there on the thighs. I don't want to keep her here too long because I know she finds this one a little bit difficult. But squeeze that belly in. We've got to support the back by using the abdominal muscles. Now, chest up, arms up. Bring the arms back by your ears. Good. And pull those back ribs into your back ribs. Floating ribs into your back ribs. A little bit more, hun. Okay. And stand all the way up. Inhale. Bring your arms to your sides. Exhale. Are you growing to love that pose yet?
A little bit.
All right. One more time, just a little bit quicker, okay? So it will be an exhale, touch the floor. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, down you go. Squeeze the belly in, don't grip the toes. Arms up, inhale, back ribs back, pull the belly in. Good. And all the way up, press. Inhale, arms to your sides. Exhale, good. Just shake it out a little bit, wiggle it out. So now we're going for the Utkatasana twist here. And you need an awful lot of mobility in the chest area, in the rib cage, in order to keep the knees together in this pose. So when we're doing Utkatasana, when we have the knees together, we're facing forwards, great. When we begin to twist, you might notice that one of your knees comes forwards. That's absolutely fine. If you have enough flexibility in your ribs, then you can try to keep the knees together, but never force, okay? So we're gonna go to the right first. Whenever you're ready, back into the pose. Exhale, touch the floor, bend the knees. Pull the belly in. Take the arms up when you're ready. Inhale, keep the belly in, the floating ribs in, arms up by your ears. Good. You wanna bring your hips up a little bit more here, hon. Yeah, work those thighs a little bit more, back ribs back. Now hook left arm on the outside of that right knee. Good. She's pressing the hands together here to help lever the chest around a little bit more. Pull the right ribs back behind you. Pull the left ribs forward. See if you can touch the center of your chest with your thumbs. Now back to the center. Arms up, inhale. Stand up. Arms to your sides, exhale. Does that create a little heat?
Oh yeah.
All right, one more. Other side, whenever you're ready. Try not to grip those toes, guys. Squeeze the belly in, arms up. Don't come too low. I want you to use your thighs. Yeah. And when you're ready, hook that right arm on the outside of the left thigh. Palms are together, pressing, allowing your arms to help you pull the ribs around a little bit more. Don't do anything funky with your neck here. Keep your neck nice and soft. Good. Back to the center. Inhale. Feel free to hang out there a little bit longer if you want to. And up you come. Arms to your sides. Exhaling. Awesome. Now we're going to do a little bit of balance work. Now, what does balance work have to do with your immune system, you may ask? Well, in order to balance, we need to concentrate, we need to focus. And when we're focused, we really have to bring our nervous system into place and we allow for that de-stressing of the whole of the body. We're going to do tree pose first against the wall because I want to keep one side of the body nice and long. So start with the right or left side, doesn't matter, against the wall. And you're going to come into the wall with the foot closest to the wall, as close as she can. Now, you will feel the left side of your waist is really nice and long here, okay? The leg muscles are engaged, you're in a Tadasana position, thigh muscles are engaged. Now all I'm going to ask her to do is lift up her right heel. Just the heel, hon, just the heel. Keep the toes down, right? Good. Now can you keep that length in the left side of your body? Reach up with the arm, like be really active, right? So we don't want to distribute the weight into misalign the body in order to bring that right leg up. Now turn the right leg out to the side. There you go. And come into the pose. So she can bring her foot up her leg. So we're going to let her do that, but you might want to keep your toes on the floor or even place your foot on your calf muscle here. Good. Now she can feel the length in the left side of the waist. I can see the length in the left side of the waist. But notice in your own body, is the right waist short? Can you make the right waist longer by dropping the right sit bone down to the floor and scooping it forwards a little bit? So this is just really is a great way to begin to balance on one leg. Keep the weight evenly placed on the standing leg foot. Let's come down, exhale and turn. We'll do the other side. Right waist is nice and long, left heel comes up, good, turn the leg outward in the hip socket, and then bring the foot up. So wherever the foot goes, it's great, it doesn't matter. We're just really working on weight bearing, on aligning, and the more alignment you can get in your body, the less your muscles have to work, the less energy you need. So make sure you're not popping that standing leg hip bone out to the side. Good, one more breath in. When you're ready, exhale to release. So feel free to do this again against the wall. I'm going to have Chrissy do it on the mat now because I know that she can. And that's really going to put the mockers on it now, right? She's going to fall out of the pose. No, she's not. No, she's not. All right, so which side did we start with? Left heel up, was it?
We started with right heel up first.
Okay, so we're standing on the left leg. Bring the right heel up. Really firm up that standing leg. Lift through the inner leg. Lift through the whole of the spine to the crown of the head. Turn the right knee out. Good. Lift up the leg. Wherever the leg is going to go. And use the arms for balance in any way that you like. They can come out to the side. Bringing them to heart center is actually pretty difficult, especially if you don't have, that aligned, balanced position. Good. So do a few different variations with the arms if you like. You don't have to. See if that helps with your balance, with your concentration. You need to focus. You need to bring your attention to what you're doing, like now. See if you can reach those arms up a little higher. Beautiful. One more breath, and exhale. Release. Arms come down, foot comes down. Awesome. All right, let's do the other leg. Left heel up, leg turns out, and foot comes up. That's okay. And one side is often more, difficult than the other. If we're standing on one leg, it'll always be the same one, basically. Good. So both of the waists nice and long. The lifted leg sit bone needs to drop down and move into the pelvis. If you come down, just start again, no big deal. Or just keep the toes on the floor, it's fine. Good. Steady breath. And it's a good idea to fix your gaze. When you're balancing on one leg, you fix your gaze. We're going to try a few times with the eyes closed here, which is really challenging. Let's release this pose and turn side on. So we use the eyes to help us with the balance, which is great. Fix your gaze on one point. We call it the drishti. We use it to help us, and that's absolutely fine. If you really want to challenge yourself, you can close your eyes. I've seen Chrissy do this before. She can raise the heels, raise the arms, and close the eyes. I can't do that, but she's gonna, you try with her. All right, reach your arms down. So we're in a nice steady Tadasana position. We're gonna keep the arms by the sides to start, and just bring the heels up. Have your hands active hands, good. Inhale the heels up, exhale the heels down. Use the breath. A few more times. Inhale. She's already got her eyes closed here. All right, keep your eyes open for now. You're gonna get used to it first. And lower. That's 3, I think. And 4. See if you can get a little hang time up there, right? And 5. Good. Now let's try with the arms and the heels at the same time. You can take your arms out and up or forwards and up, whichever feels more appropriate for you. 5 more times. Keep your eyes open. This is fine. If you want to challenge yourself, arms up. Then close your eyes. See what happens. You won't fall far. You're just like less than a foot away from the floor. 2. Inhale and exhale. 3, reach up. Good. 2 more times. 1 more. And release. Super. All right, so we've done some twists, we've done some balancings. Now we're going to come down onto the tummy. If you wouldn't mind, just pop yourself all the way down. And we'll do a little bit of work here. Especially good for the digestive system because you're putting pressure on the abdomen. But you don't want the abdomen hanging down there into the floor. So first of all, make sure your feet are hip distance apart and they're really active. I always like to lift and stretch one leg. Do you want to do that, Chrissy? Lift, just stretch it back, not too far. It's just stretching the leg out of the hip and getting that extension through your inner ankle. So when the legs come back to the floor, the inner thighs should be lifting up towards the ceiling. You should feel a breadth in the back of your thighs from the insides to the outsides. So we're going for Cobra first. We'll do a little baby Cobra to start. Bring the hands by the ribs. The elbows are up. Okay? Now by virtue of bringing the hands back, the chest is already elevated, so spread through the collarbones. Keep the front of the feet on the floor. Good. Now pull the pit of your belly up into your back body and lengthen the back body from the ribs into the sit bones, into the heels. We want that support system. Keep the belly in, keep the elbows in, the collarbones nice and broad. And I don't want you to lift up too much for the first few times, okay? Just lift the chest and feel as though you're elongating the whole of the spine. Lift up, press the hands, just a little bit, just a little bit. Keep the elbows bent. So the legs have to be really strong to support this pose. The belly has to be strong to support this pose. And feel the length from the tailbone, from the toes, all the way through the crown of the head. Come down, exhale. Release if you need to, reset if you need to. Okay, again with just a little Cobra. Squeeze in the belly, firm up the legs, keep the chest open and up. So you can press down and forwards with the hands a little bit to bring a little bit more extension into the spine and come down. Good. Wiggle your pelvis, move your arms, whatever you need to do. So we'll do this one more time, maybe 2 more times, and we'll come into the pose as fully as possible. Now to do this, you really need to have open chest muscles, a really, good upper thoracic spine. So don't try to straighten the arms if you're not ready for that. Okay, legs are strong, belly is in, you're supporting your back. Press with the hands, lift with the chest. Come up slowly with the chest. Good, and then straighten the arms and think about lengthening the spine the whole time. Good, now you want to pull the arm bones back towards the back of your mat. And from the center of your collarbones into your outer upper arm bones, just spread, spread, spread. Back of the neck stays soft. Maybe you take the gaze up, but don't crunch into the neck. And exhale, let's bring it all the way down with control. Now you need to keep everything engaged as you're coming down, same as when you're going up, okay? Once you've come down, then you can let go. Let's do this one more time. Whenever you're ready. Firm the legs, belly in, chest comes up. Good. Take the shoulders back, the arm bones back. Spread, 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 spread. Reach through the crown of the head. Get as much extension in your spine as you can. Keep that belly in. And exhale all the way back down. Good. Let's just take a little rest here. Just wiggle the pelvis, whatever you want to do with your arms. Rest one side of the face to the floor. And we'll get ready for bow pose. Now, bow pose is going to cause more pressure onto the abdominal area here, although we're keeping that support system, keeping the pit of the belly in. We're going to start with one leg at a time. So bring your arms forwards. On your elbows, that's fine. Yep, so your chest is propped up. Good. firm up the legs again, squeeze the belly in so you're feeling a lengthening at the back of the waist, and keep spreading those collarbones. Lift behind the breastbone, keep the chest open. Okay, bending one of your legs, again, doesn't matter which one it is. Good. Now as you bend your leg, do you know what your leg is doing? It's really difficult to establish what the leg is doing behind you. Yeah, take a look. Look back and see. You want your leg coming straight out of the hip joint as much as possible. Your inner knee extending straight back. So you're not torquing the knee joint or the hip area. So reaching back with the same side arm now. Bring the other hand arm in front of the chest so there's a little bit of support. Good. And then she's going to try to lift that thigh up. You're going to try to lift that thigh up as much as possible. Good. This is a really difficult thing to do. You might find you need a strap. You can't reach your foot. Just grab something, hold on to that strap, that tie, that bit of material. Good. Bring it down, release. Let's try the other side. So reset up, reset, refirm, re-lengthen. Check the position of the leg, the foot. Bring the thigh up as high as you can. And you'll feel this stretch in the front of the hip. You'll feel the abdomen pressing or wanting to press into the floor. Lift the pit of the belly. And we want the lifted leg shin to go straight up as opposed to in towards the front of the mat. Let's release. Good. Take a breath. Now, do you want to do one again, or you're good going straight up to two?
We can go straight up.
Straight up? All right. So you can do one leg again. We're going to do this twice more, or you can do both legs at the same time. Full Urdhva Dhanurasana or bow pose. Okay, so lie all the way down so you can bend both knees and grab hold of the feet. Now, if you're using a strap, if you can't grab your feet, this is going to be really difficult because you have to fiddle around to grab the strap. So just stick with one leg. That's fine. Extend your inner ankles. Reach back with your thigh bones. Spread your collarbones. Up you come. Up. Now, if you're rocking forwards and back, that's absolutely fine. Hit the shin bones back. Back, 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 back. Inner knees back. Release whenever you need to. So you might find you can really lift the chest or you can really lift the thighs. It's hard to do both, and this is a high energy pose. We're going to bring it down in a little while, but we're going to do it one more time, okay? Knees bend. Reach back, grabbing the feet or the front of the ankles. Make sure the inner ankles are extending, the inner knees are straight back. Pull the belly in, up you come. Chest up, shins up, beautiful. Now she's really trying to bring those shins back towards the back of the mat and up towards the ceiling. This is the really hard part of the pose. Don't let your belly flop out. 1, 2, 3 more breaths. Lift the thighs, lift the shins, and release. Exhale. Good. Wiggle it out here. Wiggle it out. Take a few breaths. All right, so we're going to come back into a downward facing dog position now. So you might want to just curl your toes under and lift back up if you feel that that's there for you, or come back to all fours like Chrissy here. Take your feet a little wider apart, Chrissy. It makes it a little easier on the hamstrings. And just stretch everything out. This pose is amazing for everything. If you do it aligned, all right? So your upper arms are rotating out. Your head, the weight of your head is dropping down. Don't try to grip with those neck muscles. The back ribs are lifting up. Don't collapse the floating ribs towards the floor. Elongate the waist. Get the hips back. Get the legs back. See if you can lift your toes up off the floor. Toes. Ooh, using those legs a little bit more, right? Make sure the knuckles of the fingers are down. 1, 2, 3 more breaths. And then exhale, let's come back to the knees. And then we're going to swivel around. We're going to take a fish pose, all right? So we're going to start on our backs. Good, take a breath, couple of breaths. Again, little wiggle, never harms. And then we're going to bring the legs together. For this one, we're going to point the toes. Keep the legs as elongated and engaged as you can. The arms are by the body. Now move the shoulder blades towards the heels because you want to start with the chest open and expanded. Now in a moment, she's going to press with the arms, press with the elbows, lift herself up to look at her toes. Now you're going to lift the chest up to do this. Then drop the head back. If you want a visual, watch Chrissy first, all right, when you're ready. Press, lift, look. Chest up, head back. Gorgeous. The legs are active. Good. I thought you were going to stay, but that's fine, that's fine. She's giving you the visual. Now we'll do it together and hold for at least 5 breaths. This is an amazing pose for your thyroid gland, really good for your immune system. All right, whenever you're ready. Don't shuffle your elbows back. Keep that chest open. Here we go. Press, lift, look. Chest up, head back. Good. And keep lifting the chest. That spot between your shoulder blades, your dorsal spine, lift it up. Don't forget about your legs. Keep them active. Extend your inner ankles. Deep breaths. In, out, through the nose. 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Head comes up and relaxes down. Now that's that whole body just relax. When you're doing that pose, you should have very little, if any, weight on your head. The throat is open, the chest is open, the legs are firm. If you feel this pose at all in your lower back, come down. Let's readjust, and perhaps next time you come to the studio, remind me and I will check it for you. It's a beautiful pose, but you have to make sure you're supporting your whole self. Okay, so I think we're going to end about there now. I'm going to have her come into Shavasana, and I'm sure she's about ready for that, right? Lay, relax. You have to have your relaxation. All right, so the legs can come a little bit further apart and just let them flop out. Still making sure the chest is open so the shoulders aren't up there near the ears. Turn the palms up and relax those shoulders. Good. And you want to notice in yourself, if you're shortening one side of your neck, perhaps one of your shoulders is a little higher than the other, just scan your body and find some semblance of balance between one side and the other. You'll find that if you're always perhaps holding a heavy handbag or something on one shoulder, that you're going to be a little bit more tense on that side than the other side. So scan your body from the crown of your head into your shoulders, through your neck, down your torso, into your legs, and try to feel that there is an evenness of release. Close your eyes and relax them completely. The softer the eyes are, the more your attention can move to your point of focus, which in this case is yourself. So if you find your eyes to be flickering a lot, open, reclose as many times as you need to. And then just let go. Like really feel the muscles in your body just beginning to melt. The bones in your body to becoming heavier. And just yielding into the support of the floor underneath you. The jaw should be really relaxed. Make sure you're not clenching those teeth. And just draw your attention to yourself. Try to put away any to-do lists. Try to put away any thoughts about the practice. Oh my goodness, I couldn't stand on one leg for 5 seconds. You know, it takes practice. So just put all that away. The practice itself, the physical practice, is great to keep your body healthy. But the main part of the practice is to focus, is to allow your attention, your mind to calm down, to de-stress your body, to help build your immune system. This is the beauty of the whole thing. And we need to allow the body to rest after jiggling it all about, to allow for those great things to take place in our body. So I'm going to be quiet just for a minute or two more now and allow Chrissy to relax. So please stay with your Shavasana for just a little bit longer. We'll bring you out in a sec. Just stay relaxed there, Chrissy. And you can stay in this pose as long as you like. Ideally, they say if you're doing an hour's practice, hour and a half, it's a little bit long for people nowadays, but you should take about 10 minutes in this pose. But I am going to have Chrissy come out now. She has to go to work. So when you're coming out of Shavasana, just start to bring awareness back into your body. Start to move a little bit, stretch a little bit. Whatever feels right for you to do is the right thing to do. Maybe the knees come into the chest, you hug them in a little bit, wiggle from side to side. Again, whatever feels right. But to come out of the pose in the end, we really want to roll to one side. Don't jerk yourself up. Don't suddenly, I'm right back in the world here. So roll to one side and come up nice and easy, nice and gently, back to a seated position, whatever comfortable seated position you like. And we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart. Bow the head to the heart and take a moment to honor the light within. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Namaste, Chrissy. Thank you so much for today. She's going to be my new model. Watch out for Chrissy. Well, my ankle's getting better at least. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.